What? Sheamus? I picked Roman Reigns. Who did you pick?
I told ya.
Yes, she did.
So that was your daughter
That was my daughter.
telling you?
She called it, and I got it wrong. Money in the Bank. Sheamus is the winner.
I think a lot of people got that one wrong, if you want my honest opinion. I didn't see Sheamus winning, but you know what? I have to be honest with you, Eric. I think that Roman Reigns is better now being in a feud with Bray Wyatt than he is with Money in the Bank.
We've got all of your Money in the Bank thoughts, and we've got Dusty Rhodes thoughts here on the Enhancement Talent. I'm Eric Cornish.
This should be interesting. I am the Rob, and welcome to the Enhancement Talent.
Well, I tell you what, just getting back from Nashville, thank you to Steve for handling my duties on Tuesday or on Thursday of last
I want to
week.
thank Steve as well. So,
And coming up this week, I think you're going to be out, right?
yes, I will.
So we've got a special interview coming that I got in Nashville from the one and only Brooke Hogan coming up.
The Hulk's daughter going to be
That's
here
right.
with Eric. So,
That was fun.
That's coming up on Thursday's episode.
All right, before we get to thoughts on the ladder match and all the other events going on at Money in the Bank, I guess we should talk about the big news, which happened, breaking news on Thursday.
Right after I stopped recording with Steve, the big news drops that the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, has passed away.
And still not a lot of information out on this from what I've heard. He had a fall and then had some complications, I guess.
I didn't even know he fell.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing is that he had a fall, and it happened at his home.
But
and
I thought they know how to fall.
Nice.
Honk, honk. Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry. Listen,
Too soon.
my thoughts about the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, have been well publicized
Sure,
on
absolutely.
this podcast.
Yeah.
Now, on a very human level, I'm super sad that the man has died.
Yeah.
I recognize him as a wrestling legend, but had the distinction in my world of being my #1 least favorite wrestler of all time.
Right. You can go back and that is documented in one of our past episodes.
So yes, in fact, one topic was our least favorite wrestlers of all time, and I didn't have to think twice about it. It was the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. He was not for me. He was just not what I like out of a pro wrestler.
Sure.
He had nothing to offer me. People go on and on about his ability to talk. And again, I recognize that people loved it, but it didn't work for me. I didn't like him in the ring talking. I didn't like him in the booth talking. I didn't like him wrestling. I didn't like him booking. I did not appreciate all the fame and success he had because I did not think that he was the most worthy to be in the position that he was in. Again, in my humble opinion. I know the man's past, but these are the things I've said before.
Right.
And, like I said,
It's nothing new. Let me throw this out there for you. All that aside, and your personal opinions aside, I certainly believe if you're talking about the top 25 most important wrestlers of all time, he has to be included in that list.
I would think that he'd be on the list, like in the same way that the Beatles are like the greatest rock band of all time, but they're still not my favorite.
Right. Yeah, no, mine either. But
yeah, but I know he made he changed the business, and I get that. And he did a great job of speaking to the everyman of the day. But he was a little bit before my time, and I just never got into him. I never liked seeing him on my TV. Again, I hate saying this now. I feel like a real heel.
Well, no, but you've said it before, so it's okay. I mean, that's all right. I appreciate the things that Dusty did. Most of his heyday came before my time, but I do remember seeing him live. I remember seeing him and Macho Man go at it in Louisville Gardens. So certainly will be missed. I mean, I think they showed last night, the kind of tribute that is going to come with him, and that with the top level star, like we said, like top 25 of all time,
absolutely worthy of a great tribute to
absolutely,
without a doubt.
So what he had last night, I think, was deserving, and he was an employee. So I mean, it's rare that you see an employee pass away, so you're going to see that kind of tribute. So.
Would you like to know my current least favorite living wrestler?
Sure.
The new bottom of the barrel for me is now Rikishi. To be honest, I'm being honest.
Just fat guys. Just have a thing against fat
guys.
It's
definitely not fat guys. I liked Adrian Adonis.
Sure.
Bam Bam Bigelow. There were a lot of big guys.
I gotcha.
Foley's one of my favorites. It's got nothing to do with that.
All right. So
what's to watch about a guy rubbing his ass all over someone's face? And that was the whole gimmick. And then not only that, what a heel move! Not even thanking Scotty Too Hotty and Too Cool and Brian Christopher at the Hall of Fame. He just has a Hall of Fame worthy wrestler. There are a lot of people who aren't in there that should be before Rikishi, in my opinion. So there you go.
I humbly disagree a little bit, but that's okay.
That's what we do.
Hey, that's it. That's what we... And you may disagree, too, so let us know. Let's move on. Of course, that great tribute happened last night. Money in the Bank pay-per-view, if we can even call them that anymore. They happen every 2 weeks. It's just another...
This one technically was a pay-per-view.
This one was.
I almost wish I did. I had terrible streaming errors this time, and I don't think it was the network's fault. We had electrical storms last night. Maybe affected me. Maybe my internet was slow. I've never had this problem before, but had a really tough time watching a solid stream of Money in the Bank.
I didn't have any issues with mine, and for the most part, I thought it was decent. I thought it was better than the Elimination Chamber, but I will say, other than the Ryback Big Show match, which felt like a Raw match to me, the way just everything about it felt like a Raw match, the finish, everything. But I mean, I see where they're going. I mean, I get that. The main event disappointed me.
You know, it's funny you say that. I was talking about this with another one of my friends, Jerry, and I thought the first 10 minutes were awful. I thought Dean was moving in slow motion or phoning it in or just didn't care. But eventually it got to where I wanted it to get to. I would not say it was an awful main event. I
mean, they, slow pace, and I got to be honest with you, I actually fell asleep during it. Had to rewind it and go back and watch it again. The finish was okay. A
lot happened between that, though.
Yeah, I mean, but if they're gonna have, I didn't like him just throwing ladders and chairs on him and burying him, because it's like, you could get up, out of that. I mean, pretty easy, and he did. But I mean, the whole tie, for the belt or whatever.
Right.
I felt like it could have been done better, but at the same time, it's interesting to see how, where my prediction was that Roman Reigns would somehow be, would win the Money in the Bank and be involved in this finish. Now they've completely moved him away from that and into this,
which I think is good for
Bray Wyatt. I think it is too. But I don't know if that was a change in booking or they had this plan all along. But it feels like it was a last minute kind of, let's do this instead. And now I'm seeing even more so plans for eventually Triple H and Rollins.
That would be cool. I'm okay with that, I think.
What other reason would they have for JoJo to come out at the end and ask him and him to say, and you heard what he said too, like the greatest World Heavyweight Champion of all time.
Right, when Triple H is right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, I feel like the seeds are being planted eventually down the road for that kind of feud. But
let's be honest, Seth Rollins is in the midst of a great title run.
Huge, yeah.
He's having a great run.
Yeah, he is.
But Triple H had a few good ones too, particularly his first one. I loved his first title run.
I will have to say this. This is the other couple title matches. Very surprised, first of all, with primetime players. However, things could still happen tonight with the whining and complaining the New Day does.
I actually did not see it.
Okay, you didn't see the tag match? Okay. They've made a big deal, and we've made a big deal about this all along, that, they're using the whole Freebird rule, and all three of them are the champions. And who got pinned last night?
Who got pinned?
Xavier Woods, who is not officially a tag team champion if you go back to the original champions. So I can see something like that happening tonight on Raw. You also saw the Divas title match where that one got reversed and restarted. How fitting on a night where we celebrate Dusty Rhodes that we have two matches that could potentially reverse the title decision. I thought those were very well done. Both of those matches very well done. But I could see something with the New Day getting those titles back tonight.
I would hope so, because they've done a great job with the tag titles.
Sure.
Better than any team in recent history.
Sure.
So I would like to see that. Plus, they're very good.
Their involvement in the ladder match last night was great. Them helping Kofi and then getting the drop kick from Roman Reigns, I thought was great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the MVPs as far under Rollins right now. I mean, New Day is rocking it. So and not just because they're our best friends.
Yeah, they're our very good friends, and we're pulling for them because New Day rocks.
So there you go. That's my thought. You want to grade it overall?
Yeah, I'll give last night a B- or a C+.
I'll give it a solid B. I thought it was
Okay.
decent. The main event could use more, in that, like we said, the Big Show Ryback, just kind of a throwaway Raw match. But everything else was, and we didn't even talk Cena and Owens. We better do that
because
that was almost like a different show altogether.
Give your review, because again, I had spotty connection. I was having a tough time.
Better than the first match.
Okay.
Still the same problem I have with the first match, though. Way too many kickouts and big spots that lead to kickouts.
Right.
And finishing moves mean nothing.
And just did it have a flow? Was it better?
It had a good flow. Yeah,
okay.
It did have a good flow. And it ended exactly how I thought it would, with Cena getting the clean victory back, and with Owens kind of, doing something dastardly.
What did he do?
And he gave the power bomb to the side of the ring, like he did to Sami Zayn.
To Cena?
To Cena.
After the match?
After the match.
Gotcha.
Cena tried to shake his hand. He shaked his hand, then he kicked him in the gut, threw him outside, and power bombed him against the side of the ring. So
he's got a style about him that I do find pretty
those guys, yeah, and I'm sorry we missed that in the beginning, because that was so much far ahead of everything else on the show for me. I thought it was great. So,
cool.
There you go.
Well, thank you for that review. I will be absent for the next 2 Enhancement talents, so Eric, I leave it in good hands.
No problem.
I know you can do this. I'll be back the
Coming
following
your way.
Thursday.
Special interview with the daughter of the immortal Hulk Hogan. She has been in the business in her own right, now a country music star, at least a hopeful country music star. Brooke Hogan joins us on Thursday. Have a good one.